It's all about their raw talent. Join Holly Willoughby and Reggie Yates for The Voice tonight at 7 here on BBC One. Back to this afternoon now, though, and Gabby Logan has today's final scores.
Let's get the full classified results.
Reading 2, Bournemouth 0, Shrewsbury 0.
West Ham United 0.
Trying to avoid relegation.
He was one of the heroes of the afternoon.
Applause from the away supporters.
The latest score is Wimbledon through to the Premier.
John Terry's tears, we all remember. Wanderers 2. Crucial week. Manchester United 4. Blackpool 2.
Welcome to Final Score. The home straight is in sight. The final bend is being navigated. There are just 6 weekends to go in the Premier League and 4 in the Football League. And this is the last Saturday of March, providing us with plenty to get excited about. I don't need superlatives or hyperbole. Dion Dublin and Garth Crooks will do all of that for you in just a moment. They've been my most able wingmen all afternoon and they can't wait to share their opinions with you. But first of all, let's bring you right up to speed with what is happening right now in the Premier League. And at Villa Park, it's Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 0. Controversy in the build-up to Daniel Sturridge's opener, but Ivanovic has added a second there. Everton 2, West Brom 0. The Toffees in the pink, cruising at Goodison, and it's a richly deserved lead. And same scoreline at Craven Cottage as well. Fulham 2, Norwich 0. Dempsey and Duff double act there. Man City 1, Sunderland 3. Mancini's title chasers are on the ropes at Fortress Etihad, with Sebastian Larsson among the scorers. And it's QPR 2, Arsenal 1. Taarabt there with a great goal, and Diakite with great goal as well for Mark Hughes Hoops in their fight for survival. And it's Wigan 1, Stoke 0. The Latics desperate for another rare victory. And it's Wolves 1, Bolton 1 at the moment. Kitely's goal giving them a flicker of hope, Wolves, but Petrov levelled from the spot after a controversial decision to award that penalty. Let's go straight then to the Etihad and hear about the drama there. Richard Askin.
Yes, an extraordinary scoreline here, Gabby. Manchester City 1, Sunderland 3. Sunderland have played extremely well. Frustrated City. 2 goals from Sebastian Larsson. A lovely controlled shot and a side footer at the back post, and a towering Nicholas Bentner header have put Sunderland in a really commanding position that they deserve. Mario Balotelli's spot kick, the only response from Manchester City so far. Sunderland have been quick into the tackle. Their skipper Lee Catamol has epitomised their work rate. Stefan Sessegnon has been a real threat throughout, swapping wings and very, very difficult to mark. Carlos Tevez has come off the bench, Gabby, but hasn't really made an impact so far. And at the moment, Sunderland are comfortably leading by that 3-1 scoreline.
Thank you, Richard. Let's go straight to Loftus Road. QPR with a 2-1 lead there. Jonathan Ledyard.
And they are well worth that lead. And as their captain, Joey Barton, exhorted them in the midweek, playing as if their futures and their careers were on the line. They've really dug in and really picked up the tempo, not least because of Samba Diakite's first Rangers goal, blasting in from a beautifully worked goal, created basically by James Mackey. Neat play on the right-hand side, just rolled it across the area and steered past Szczesny. Earlier, we'd seen a good goal for Rangers to take the lead, and then equalised by Walcott. Taarabt had given Rangers the lead. Arsenal pressing for all their worth. They're getting a little bit ragged as well. They've had some bookings, but Joey Barton is leading by example, driving his team on, and this could be a famous fixture in their fight for Premier League survival.
Jonathan, thank you. And let's go to Villa Park now. And ahead of the match, there was much support for Stilian Petrov and the news that he has acute leukemia. He came to the game today with his family. We heard news from a Bulgarian newspaper before the match that he said that this was his time in football over and his fight now was all focused on beating this cancer. On the 19th minute of the match, there was a 1 minute's applause, his number, of course, at the club. And Aston Villa have missed him today. Andrew James can give you the news from there.
Yes, it was an emotional moment as Petrov took the applause pre-match in that ovation around the stadium from the Chelsea fans as well on 19 minutes was special too. Chelsea, though, went in front. A controversial goal from Daniel Sturridge putting them ahead. Controversial because Nathan Baker, the Villa centre-back, was the subject of a head injury in the build-up, and Lee Mason didn't stop play. But Chelsea went 1-0 up, and then early in the second half, 2-0 up through Ivanovic. But the news, Gabby, is that within the last few moments, James Collins from a corner has headed Villa a goal back, and Chelsea have won just once here in 13 years in the top flight. I wonder if there's a Villa comeback underway. It's Villa 1, Chelsea 2.
A goal at Craven Cottage. Tony Husband.
Yes, we may have a Norwich comeback on the way at Craven Cottage. 2-0 down for much of the game after conceding 2 early goals. Here, Aaron Hughes has just deflected Aaron Wilbraham, a substitute shot into the net. It was probably going to be saved by Mark Schwarzer, but it took the crucial touch off Hughes' shin and went past Mark Schwarzer to get Fulham right back to Norwich right back in this game. Remember, they were behind. Clint Dempsey in 2 minutes after Brian Ruiz's shot wasn't saved, and then Dempsey turning provider for Damien Duff after only 13 minutes. Fulham have put the woodwork twice as well, but they haven't been able to put the game to bed, so Norwich are back in it with 13 minutes to play.
So it's definitely not going to be the 6-0 scoreline that Norwich last took away from Craven Cottage back in 2005. But can they, Dion, get right back in this? Can they take something away, at least a point?
I think so. That they've come out and done incredibly well and passed it and looked very positive. And the goal, yeah, there's an element of luck with the goal, but everything's been in the Fulham final third. So yeah, why not? Why not? It's definitely not going to be a 6-0.
No, let's talk a little bit about the Etihad. You're just saying there, Garth, to me that they just can't open them up.
What a game this has been. Oh,
okay,
another goal.
OK, let's go straight now back to Villa Park to Andrew James.
Aston Villa are back on level terms at 2-2. I think it's Eric Lehigh who's got the equalising goal. It is Lehigh brought into the side today, one of those 5 changes for Villa. It was good work from Mark Albrighton. He was a substitute today. He's come on and made the difference, playing wide on the flanks for Villa. He got the ball across. Chelsea, who've had to put Cahill into defence when Luis went off injured at the end of the first half. They've not been dealing with this renewed Villa attack. And Lehigh at the far post at the Holt end has made it Villa 2, Chelsea 2.
And you thought that they were out of this game, didn't you?
It should have been. This game should have been over. But, you know, one of the best fullbacks in the world has screwed it up. It's come across him. He's on the back stick, is Ashley Cole, and he's found it very difficult to deal with the ball he should have dealt with. Yeah, he should have dealt with it. He probably could have. It's a real difficult one, as you said, Garth. He's only 2 yards away from his goal. If he catches it, it's going to go in his own net. He's got to try and go with his right foot and kick it exactly where it comes from. Yes. Difficult situation. He should have dealt with it better. Yeah.
Let's check in with Alan Biggs at Goodison Park. Everton going well for the 3 points after their impressive FA Cup win in the week.
Yeah, straightforward, Gabby. Everton 2, West Brom 0. Everton on course to leapfrog Liverpool, at least for 24 hours, and it's likely to be a routine victory. As we know, they like to spread the goals around without a regular scorer. Today it's been the turn of Leon Osman and Victor Anichebe, both struck from the edge of the area. Osman's took a big deflection off defender McCauley, but substitute Anichebe's effort could not have been more emphatic. Everton 2, West Brom 0.
And let's go to Molineux. Just how big could this goal be in determining who stays and who goes in the Premier League? Ivan Gaskell.
Oh, you have to feel desperately sorry for Wolves here. They've been so dominant for so long in this game, and now they find themselves behind. Just moments after Hennessy had made an absolutely superb save from Wheater from close range. Back came the ball across. Wolves didn't deal with it. Ngog had a header that struck the crossbar. It bounced down, and there was Alonso, Marcos Alonso, their fullback, up sharp, showing poacher's instinct in the 6-yard box to tuck the ball away. He wheeled away in joy. It's really rough on Wolves, who were ahead in this game and deservedly so through Keightley on 53 minutes. They could have been 4 up by that stage. Fletcher might have had a hat-trick, but he was denied by goalkeeper and crossbar. And now Bolton find themselves ahead. Is this the death knell for Wolves in the Premier League this season? They've got an awfully high mountain to climb from here.
Dundee United have doubled their lead at Tannadice. We'll hear more on that very soon, but let's go straight to that goal there, and it could be a comeback for West Ham at Upton Park. Mark Webber.
West Ham United 2, Reading 3. Vaz Tay using his head to make the pendulum of opportunity swing slightly back towards West Ham again, because Reading haven't half pulled a rabbit out of a hat here in the way that they did it. The Hammers drew first blood. Carlton Cole getting the ball. It all rallied them and the home crowd, but Reading, masters of the comeback, fought back, took the lead from nowhere. Gorks using his head, Hunt shooting home inside the area. The Royals majestic in the second half up until now. Ian Hart making it 3. To be honest with you, Gabby, bruised limbs aplenty, the magic sponge in overdrive. This has been a fantastic advert for Championship football. If it was a shop window, it'd be as eye-grabbing as a Parisian boutique during Fashion Week. West Ham United 2, Reading 3.
Let's go back to Andrew James at Villa Park, another goal.
Yeah, and all the good work for Villa has been undone by poor defending, because Ivanovic has got a second for Chelsea, the man who got them into the 2-0 lead. And it's controversial, Gabby, because just moments before that, Agbonlahor was away and in a scoring position to make it 3-2 Villa. John Terry went down, and Lee Mason, who I have to say has been very, very generous in his awards towards Chelsea this afternoon, gave the free kick Chelsea's way. Villa felt hard done by, and within seconds they feel even worse, because a second goal for Ivanovic makes it 3-2 to Chelsea.
This is very controversial, Gary, because in the first half, John Mason allowed the tackle that Torres had on their centre-half. The Villa play went down, they carried on, and they got their first goal. Chelsea got their first goal from that. So Villa fans will feel very aggrieved that they're not actually being fair.
But again, it's one of those goals you've got to stop. You know, conceding all the time from corners. It was a very lucky goal. It sort of hit him on the head. He guided it home, but he's 2 yards out and he's got a free header. That can't happen.
But the moral of the story is, because the play goes down, the game doesn't stop until the referee blows the whistle.
Yeah.
OK, Sheffield United have taken the lead, by the way, against Hartlepool, which means they will leapfrog their Steel City rivals this evening. Sheffield Wednesday had got a victory earlier on the day against Preston North End. But let's go back into the Premier League to the DW, and Wigan with that lead over Stoke. Looking good for the 3 points, James Mason?
I think so, Gabby, and if they do get the 3 points, they would have deserved it. With only one home win all season, Wigan are 8-9 minutes away from recording their second as they lead through a timely first goal of the season from Antolin Alcaraz, the Paraguayan fullback, beating his marker just outside the 6-yard box to power home a header from a sumptuous left-wing cross from Jean Beausejour. The lead is nothing more than the home side deserve, either having created 2 gilt-edged chances in the first half and having a penalty claim turned away in the second. Stoke have shown glimpses of quality, but are just up against a committed Wigan side full of confidence after that defeat of Liverpool last week, and as they enjoy their best run of the season. It's Wigan Athletic 1, Stoke City 0.
3-1, it's over.
Let's go straight back to Molineux. Ivan Gaskell.
Over 7 minutes from time, and Bolton are 3-1 up. They've gone a long way to saving themselves. They've also gone a long way to consigning, should I say, Wolves to the Championship this afternoon. This will leave Wolves with 7 games left, just 21 points to play for. It'll leave them 7 points adrift of Bolton, who are just beyond the safety zone. It's really rough on Wolves. They played so well for so long, but suddenly Bolton have turned it on. Hennessy actually has produced 2 fantastic saves to keep the score down. Now Davis, with a well-taken finish, has converted it well, and converted this from what looked to be a certain defeat at one stage to an emphatic win. Bolton 3-1 up.
Let's have a look at the bottom of the table as things stand right now, because at various points today, Wigan and QPR have been out of the bottom 3. Bolton go right up to 16th on 29 points. Blackburn are sucked down a place. Of course, they play Manchester United on Monday. But it's that gap, Garth, between 19th and 20th, the 6 points there that you focus on.
Wolves have been cut adrift, and that's the real problem. And there was a big turning point in this game, and people can watch the match today tonight, where the referee gives a decision. Mark Davis goes down. Roger Johnson is alleged to have touched him. I don't think it's a penalty. The Wolves players agree with me. Make up your own minds tonight, but it's a big turning point in the game.
And Wolves were playing so well, they were in the ascendancy, and they were on top of that game. And ever since that penalty was given, they haven't been the same side.
OK. May I just point you in the direction of a programme I hope you're going to enjoy next Wednesday evening?
He said, "What are your vital statistics?"
I thought I told you, no women in here.
Sexism in football.
Oh, she's probably just happy she's not at home looking after the kids.
I'd never come across or experienced anything like it before.
To what extent does it really exist?
It is always about who breaks the silence.
No one wants to be the whistleblower. No one wants to be the girl that told a story that means you'll never work in football again, because I want to work in football forever.
Join me, Gabby Logan, on BBC One, 10:45 on Wednesday.
And also on Wednesday, the World Track Cycling Championships start in Melbourne. So if you want to catch up with Sir Chris Hoy, Vicky Pendleton and the rest of Team GB, it's 10 o'clock every morning on the Red Button and the BBC Sport website, with highlights of the week next Sunday afternoon on BBC Two. Let's go straight to Selhurst Park for a goal news there. Tony Lockwood.
It's a hat-trick for Radoslav Majewski, Gabby. 3 pieces of quality. The opener twisting and turning away from Nathaniel Klein, and then hammering the ball into the roof of the net past Speroni. Then from outside the penalty area, he struck from distance with real effect. And then a moment ago, he claimed his hat-trick. Palace have just had a goal ruled out. And Forest, what a significant win this could be for them this afternoon. They lead Palace at Selhurst Park by 3-0.
And let's go to the Amex. 5th and 6th at the start of the day. These two all square at the moment, Andy Barwell.
Yes, one apiece, and a good game, surprisingly open between these two promotion hopefuls. A delicate header at the near post broke the deadlock. It was Marvin Hemnes with the header there that gave Middlesbrough the advantage. He almost added a second pretty quickly as well, but Lukas Jutkovic's shot hit the post. Brighton, though, levelled it up from a corner. Inigo Calderon with a well-timed run. He wasn't picked up. A powerful header gave the Borough keeper Jason Steele no chance. Both sides still going for it. It's Brighton 1, Middlesbrough 1.
Straight to the Etihad for goal news. Richard Askham.
Yes, City with a lifeline. Gabby, Mario Balotelli with an excellent goal. He picked the ball up just outside the box on the left-hand side, drove into the box, shifted it onto his right foot and smacked an unstoppable shot past Simon Mignolet. And it's now City 2, Sunderland 3.
And let's go straight to Molineux. Ivan Gaskell with a goal.
Wolves back in it. Pulled a goal back through Matt Jarvis. Is it too little, too late, though? A fine shot, fine goal. It's Wolves 2, Bolton 3.
And to Upton Park, Mark Webber has a goal.
Oh, I never wanted to see Jason Robert dancing like his dad, but he just has. West Ham United 2, Reading 4. A very controversial goal as well. It landed at the sole of Hunt. He backheeled it in the area to Lee Jitwood. Lee Jitwood shot it in. All the West Ham fans and players going, offside referee. Referee was having none of it. West Ham United 2, Reading 4.
Unbelievable.
Let's go straight back to the Etihad. Richard Askham, I don't believe it.
Would you believe it, Gabby? Manchester City have an equaliser. It hasn't looked as though they were going to get back into this game, but that Balotelli goal, and now a strike from Alexander Kolarov through a body of players inside the box on his favoured left foot, but he drove it unerringly past Mignolet, and it's now City 3, Sunderland 3.
Right. Is it took a deflection?
Unbelievable.
Well, from this position, I've got to say it's 3-1. I mean, it does take a deflection, I must say.
Must do.
But it's a lovely strike by Kolarov.
Oh, maybe not.
No, it goes straight in.
Maybe not. It is a great strike.
Goes to a ruck of players. But at 3-1, you know, again, Sunderland are entitled to think, away from home, that game's over. Because they've defended like lions. They really have been superb. And from nowhere, they're back in the game.
I think Sunderland are thinking to themselves that he's not going to shoot here because it's one of the hardest techniques in the book to strike a ball coming across your non-striking foot. And he strikes it perfect in a place where he wanted to put it. What a great goal.
OK, let's go to Goodison Park. Alan Biggs, calm things down for us.
Oh, yes, it couldn't be more routine. It's almost boring, Everton's dominance of West Bromwich Albion here. It's only really a question of how many they'll get. They've threatened in the last few minutes. It remains a comfortable 2-0.
OK, let's go up to the SPL. Rangers won at Motherwell at lunchtime, which means that Celtic can't win the league title for at least one more week. At Tannadice this afternoon, though, Brian McLaughlin.
Yes, Gabby, we're into the first of 2 minutes of additional time here, and it's Dundee United 3, Dunfermline 0. All 3 goals coming in the second half. John Daly with a double. The split, though, by a magnificent goal from Scott Robertson, made by a man you're going to hear a lot more of, Gary Mackay-Stevens. Terrific pace down the left-hand side. stripped away the Dunfermline defence and crossed the ball into the box for Robertson to score with ease. Dunfermline, they're still going to be rooted at the bottom, 3 points behind Hibernian, who play tomorrow. United close the gap on third spot, and Motherwell are in there just now. Remember, third spot this year comes with a European Champions qualifier place next year. It's Dundee United 3, Dunfermline 0.
And an afternoon of craziness. What's the one thing that you think, oh, well, that'll never happen? Let's go to Villa Park. Andrew James.
Yes, I don't think the bookies would have even bothered with this one, but it's happened. Fernando Torres has scored a goal, but it's come in the most incredible circumstances. Aston Villa pushing forward for the equaliser. Shay Given went up to the halfway line to launch one in towards the Chelsea box. It broke to Sturridge. Sturridge had a couple of thoughts about perhaps trying to lob the goalkeeper from the halfway line. In the end, he ran forward, released Torres, and it was a good finish from the Spanish striker. Torres has scored and Chelsea lead 4-2.
6 months ago, his last Premier League goal. We'll talk about that in a moment, but let's go to the KC Stadium. Naz Premji has a goal.
Hull City 0, Coventry City 2. A momentous day for the Sky Blues. It could be a first away win. Cody McDonald beat the offside trap. He's through one-on-one, and he beat Vito Manone with a lovely strike. Hull City 0, Coventry City 2. And with things as they are at Ashton Gate, that means Coventry will be out of the bottom 3 tonight. But let's talk a little bit about Torres.
Yeah, well, it's the Torres that we expect to score goals. It's the Torres we expect to be in that position and finish how we finished. Haven't seen that in a long time. It's one of those balls he makes a great run. Ball just goes on the inside of his left shoulder and he strikes it across his body, across the keeper.
I know what you were going to say.
He has got no idea what's going on in this show, by the way.
No,
no idea.
What he nearly saw there was another Man City
can win
great
this
chance.
City.
There's no point coming back from 3-1 down if you're not going to win it. Don't just take a point out of the game. Come on. Let's just check in at Fratton Park. I'll talk to you in a moment. But I also wanted to point out that Garth did say ahead of this today, didn't he? If you were with us on the red button, you'd know Garth predicted that Torres was coming into form and would score. It's not often he gets things right, so it's worthwhile pointing out when it happens. Let's go to Fratton Park, though. Kevin Smith, a big win for Burnley there today.
Yes, it is. They lead by 3-1. They've deserved it, really, in this second half. Danny Ings put them ahead in the first minute of the second period, getting his head on an inviting cross from David Edgar, and then substitute Charlie Austin rounded off a free kick. He may have been offside. The Portsmouth defenders looked towards the assistant, not given, and Austin gave Burnley a deserved 3-1 lead. Hard to say, really, when you saw what happened in the first half. They were very, very vulnerable defensively, didn't create an awful lot going forward, but Portsmouth have never got going in the second half. No climbing out of the bottom 3 for them today. A welcome 3 points for Burnley. We're into stoppage time. There is 6 minutes. Can't see a way back from Portsmouth in this one, though. 3-1 they lead Burnley.
A late goal at Elland Road. Harry Gratian, who's got it?
It's not Leeds. 2-0 down now. Watford played well. Iwelumo scoring the goal. To be honest, Cusack made a fantastic double save to keep Watford in the game. But Watford have sealed it now. It was a good save by Lonergan, but Iwelumo was there to follow up. 2-0.
Let's go to the DW. James Mason, a goal.
Yes, you can probably tell who it's gone to, Gabby, with the song of the PA system and the fans singing. Wigan Athletic are now 2-0 up in time added on, and it's Victor Moses who scored a long, powerful, strong run down the middle, holding off a defender before squeezing the ball past Asmir Begovic. That's the 3 points, the second win on the bounce, and their second home win of the season. They lead 2-0.
And Stoke have never beaten Roberto Martinez since he's been manager of Wigan. Let's go to Villa Park. Final whistle has blown. It's been an emotional, dramatic afternoon, Andrew James.
Yes, plenty of elements to this game, Gabby, but all the history books will show is a 4-2 win for Chelsea. Only the second time in 13 years that they've emerged from Villa Park with 3 points. The day, of course, started talking about Stilian Petrov. Great support for him, including a standing ovation on 19 minutes from the crowd. But Chelsea were 2-0 up early in the second half. A first-half goal from Sturridge, added to by the first of 2 for Ivanovic. Then Villa got themselves back into it with James Collins heading in from a corner. Eric Lehigh tapped in from an Albrighton cross to incredibly level at 2-2. But as Villa pushed for the winner, they were denied a chance as John Terry went down and the free kick was given rather generously by Lee Mason. And Chelsea took advantage going to the other end. Ivanovic scoring his second from a corner. And then right at the death with Given pushing forward the goalkeeper to launch a ball into the Chelsea box. The ball broke kindly to Sturridge. Sturridge thought about lobbing the keeper, but in the end passed to Torres, and after 6 months of waiting in the Premier League, Fernando Torres got his goal. It finished Villa 2, Chelsea 4.
Well, it's one of those afternoons where you want 180 minutes, never mind 90. I don't know if you've got the energy, Jonathan Ledyard, to keep going, but they're all over there at Loftus Road. What a valuable 3 points QPR picked up.
Absolutely. It's all smiles. Welcome to the party. As if they've stayed up. Adel Taarabt as happy as can be, not just because he scored his first goal, but he's now wearing Robin van Persie's number 10 shirt. Rangers have belief. They have victory. They've got 3 points, and I have to say they were well earned, they were well deserved. Arsenal, frankly, rarely look like extending their 8-match winning run. Even if Theo Walcott equalised expertly Taarabt's opener, they had their chances. Robin van Persie, mostly quiet, brilliantly denied by Paddy Kenny. But Szczesny had no answer to Samba Diakite's winner, his first goal for Rangers, and how important could that be? Cutely teed up by Jamie Mackie. They are still in the bottom 3, and it's Man United away next week, but this is important.
They're still playing at the Etihad. Richard Askham.
Yes, they are, Gabby. City throwing everything at this. Mario Balotelli has gone close. Pizarro has had a shot blocked, and City really pushing now in added time. Last couple of minutes of added time. Kolarov down this left-hand side, found by Pizarro. He'll cross this in left-footed. He does so. It's well defended by the Sunderland defence. Craig Gardner just getting a foot on that, and it's finally just about cleared by Sebastian Larsson. But you have to, in a way, Gabby, feel sorry for Sunderland. They've played so well, but just at the moment, they're hanging on.
All over it, let's go to Molineux. It's full time there. Ivan Gaskell.
And Bolton have won it. Is this the end for Wolves? 7 games left now and counting. 7 points behind Bolton after this. For so long it looked like it would be so different. Wolves were far superior throughout the first half. Fletcher might have had a hat-trick. Bolton's keeper Bogdan made a series of fine saves. The ball was cleared off the line, it hit the bar, it wouldn't go in. Finally it did. Kitely broke the deadlock. You wondered whether Wolves would go on from there, but instead a controversial moment. 62 minutes in, Mark Davis went down under challenge. It appeared to be no contact. It looked like a very, very dubious decision. Petrov kept his head, scored the goal, revealed a get well message for Stilian Petrov from his t-shirt, and Bolton suddenly found momentum. Alonso scored a second, Davis came off the bench, added a third, Jarvis pulled one back. It wasn't enough. Wolves go down in this game, but perhaps they may go down from here by relegation to the Championship. 7 games to save themselves. Is it enough?
To the MLS. Let's go to the Etihad. It's all over there, Richard Askham, and what an afternoon's entertainment the neutral has had.
Yeah, absolutely, Gabby. A fantastic match here, a match where Manchester City will rather feel they got out of jail trailing 3-1 thanks to 2 goals from Seb Larsson, a towering header from Nicholas Bentner, Mario Balotelli with a spot kick for City at that point, and the Black Cats thoroughly deserved their lead, quick into the tackle and with a player in Sessegnon that City simply couldn't handle. But then Mario Balotelli went on a lazy run and thumped a strike past Mignolet, and City had a last-ditch lifeline. Alexander Kolarov grabbed it, firing it in to make it 3-3. City had chances to win it, but they didn't, and it's finished 3-3 here at the Etihad.
Mancini looked like he was getting a little bit angry, a bit hot under the collar. After that, we'll find out what that's all about later. But let's go to the DW. Big win for Wigan, James Mason.
A big win indeed. Roberto Martinez is a man with a philosophy to play football on the ground, win, lose or draw. Despite being written off only weeks ago, back-to-back wins have given his Wigan side a genuine chance of staying in the Premier League. 2 second-half goals, one from Antolin Alcaraz, a powerful header, and Victor Moses' late strike, adding the gloss to a wonderful performance. And cue the Great Escape music on the full-time whistle. It ended Wigan Athletic 2, Stoke City 0.
Everton are on a roll. Alan Biggs has seen their latest victory at Goodison Park.
Yes, 2-0 winners. Very strong and assured performance by Everton. Quite the reverse from West Brom. Leon Osman and substitute Victor Anichebe got the goals. Osman's took a big deflection, but Everton always dangerous in and around the edge of the box. Gibson and Pienaar dominated for them in midfield. Tim Howard in goal was only troubled once. By contrast with Ben Foster in the visitors' goal. So Everton cranking up the pressure across Stanley Park. And finally a mention for excellent referee Peter Walton on what is his final refereeing appearance in this country, and nice to see him getting congratulated by players on both sides at the end of an emotional day for him. Everton 2, West Brom 0.
And in case you're interested, Peter Walton is going to the United States on Monday to take up his role as head of referees in the MLS. We wish him well. Let's go to Craven Cottage, though, where Fulham took 3 points. Tony Husband.
Yes, and all courtesy of 2 early goals, but they ended this game hanging on for victory as Norwich threw bodies forward, ultimately to no avail. Cliff Dempsey's 19th of the season, putting Fulham ahead. That was only 2 minutes in. Dempsey turning provider as Norwich were unlocked again. Damien Duff scoring that time, but a third goal would escape Fulham. They hit the woodwork twice, and that did give Norwich belief. It was boosted as well by Aaron Wilbraham's deflected strike 13 minutes from the end. Paul Lambert's men laid siege to the Fulham penalty area after that. Martin Jol's men held on though. Fulham 2, Norwich 1.
And it's all over at Upton Park as well. Mark Webber's had some afternoon there. A match affecting, of course, the top of the Championship.
Indeed, West Ham United 2, Reading 4. Enthralling, end-to-end, entrancing. But for the EastEnders, it'll be a result they'll want to forget. 1-0 up through Carlton Cole rebound. Reading rebounded themselves, scoring twice before half-time. It has to be said against the run of play. Ian Hart then raised them to 3 through a penalty spot kick in the second half. But then Faz Tay headed the Hammers towards the Valley of Hope. But that was quashed by a controversial 4th goal for Reading. When Legion had scored, the locals thought it was offside. But neither side gave up. Bruised limbs abound, but only West Ham with bruised pride. The neutrals would have loved it. The visitors certainly did. West Ham United 2, Reading 4.
More Championship football, live Championship football on the BBC this afternoon. Blackpool against Southampton. Southampton, of course, top of the table, live from Bloomfield Road. And Damien Johnson has caught up with the manager ahead of that one. It's 5:10 on BBC Two. Let's get the full classified results now with Mike West.
Starting with the Barclays Premier League. Aston Villa 2, Chelsea 4. Everton 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. Fulham 2, Norwich City 1. Manchester City 3, Sunderland 3. Queen's Park Rangers 2, Arsenal 1. Wigan Athletic 2, Stoke City 0. And Wolverhampton Wanderers 2, Bolton Wanderers 3. In the Empire Championship, the match between Blackpool and Southampton is an evening kick-off at 5:25. Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Middlesbrough 1. Bristol City 1, Derby County 1. Cardiff City 0, Millwall 0. Crystal Palace 0, Nottingham Forest 3. Hull City 0, Coventry City 2. Ipswich Town 1, Barnsley 0. Leeds United 0, Watford 2. Peterborough United 1, Leicester City 0. Portsmouth 1, Burnley 5. West Ham United 2, Reading 4. On to the Empire League 1, AFC Bournemouth 0, Yeovil Town 0. Bury 2, Tranmere Rovers 0. Carlisle United 2, Huddersfield Town 1. Charlton Athletic 2, Leyton Orient 0. Chesterfield 1, Scunthorpe United 4. Exeter City 1, Colchester United 1. Hartlepool United 0, Sheffield United 1. Milton Keynes Dons 1, Brentford 2. Notts County 1, Oldham Athletic 0 is a latest score. Rochdale 3, Walsall 3. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Preston North End 0. And Stevenage 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1. In the Empire League 2, Accrington Stanley 2, AFC Wimbledon 1. Burton Albion 0, Crawley Town 0. Crewe Alexandra 1, Northampton Town 1. Gillingham 2, Macclesfield Town 0. Oxford United 1, Morecambe 2. Plymouth Argyle 1, Bradford City 0. Port Vale 0, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. Rotherham United 1, Hereford United 0. Shrewsbury Town 1, Aldershot Town 1. And Swindon Town 0, Bristol Rovers 0. The Blue Square Bet Premier, AFC Telford United 3, Darlington 3. Bath City 1, Fleetwood Town 4. Braintree Town 1, Alfreton Town 2. Cambridge United 1, Wrexham 1. Forest Green Rovers 3, Barrow 0. Grimsby Town 1, Kidderminster 2. Kettering Town 1, Stockport County 3. Lincoln City 4, Tamworth 0. Mansfield Town 1, Ebbsfleet United 0. Newport County 1, Gateshead 0. And Southport 1, Hayes and Yeading United 2. Into Scotland and the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League. Dundee United 3, Dunfermline 0. Hearts 3, Aberdeen 0. Motherwell 1, Rangers 2. And St Mirren 4, Kilmarnock 2. The Irn-Bru Scottish Division 1, Partick Thistle 2, Livingston 3. Queen of the South 2, Ayr United 1. Ross County 1, Raith Rovers 1. In the Scottish Division 2, Albion Rovers 1, Cowdenbeath 0. Arbroath 2, Brechin City 3. Dumbarton 1, Forfar Athletic 0. East Fife 1, Stenhouse Muir 1. And Stirling Albion 0, Airdrie United 2. The Irn-Bru Scottish Division 3, Berwick Rangers 3, Clyde 0. East Stirlingshire 0, Annan Athletic 4. Elgin City 1, Stranraer 2. Montrose 0, Alloa Athletic 2. And Queen's Park 0, Peterhead 1. Finally, just the one game in the Corbett Sports Welsh Premier today. It finished Newtown 2, Carmarthen Town 1.
So let's have a little look at the top of the Barclays Premier League table. Then Manchester City missing out on the chance to go top, just taking a point from that game against Sunderland. Arsenal also failing to pull away from Tottenham Hotspur, who of course play tomorrow. Chelsea, though, do take 3 points from Villa Park, so they now in 5th place with Newcastle United playing tomorrow, can go back level on points. But look at that, Everton leapfrogging Liverpool into 7th place with that win. At the bottom of the table, well, it changed about 27 times this afternoon, but it's Wolves who rock bottom on 22 points. You feel have had the worst afternoon of the lot. 6 points now between them and Wigan. QPR make up the bottom 3, also on 28 points. Blackburn Rovers play Man United on Monday, also on 28 points. Couldn't be much tighter, could it? And Bolton, the big leapers of the day, up to 16th place with that win at Molineux. And to the Championship now. Southampton will kick off at Blackpool at 5:10. It's on BBC 2, that game, with a 2-point cushion at the top. Reading strengthened their grip on the second promotion spot with a fine comeback victory at 3rd place West Ham. The Hammers are now 4 points adrift of the Royals. Birmingham won last night. They're now locked on 63 points with Brighton and Middlesbrough, who drew against each other today. At the bottom, Doncaster Rovers, beaten last night, now find themselves 6 points from safety. Portsmouth thumped at home to slip deeper into the mire. Coventry completed back-to-back wins for just a second time this season. That win for the Sky Blues sees them climb out of the bottom 3 for the first time since mid-October. What a time for them to be getting themselves into the safety zone at the expense of Bristol City. What a time for them to be dropping into the drop zone. Let's move on to League One. Charlton won for just the second time in their last 6 matches to steady their promotion ship. Their advantage at the top remains 6 points after Sheffield United also won. Wednesday temporarily climbed above City, their neighbours, with a victory at lunchtime. Huddersfield were beaten to lose ground on the top 3. At the bottom, Chesterfield lost heavily at home. They remain bottom. Exeter and Rochdale both drew, but both clubs remain 8 points from safety. Wycombe and Walsall also both drew, so they say 2 adrift of the Saddlers in the final relegation spot. And to League Two, Swindon were held at home. Their advantage at the summit now just 2 points. Torquay lead the chasing pack following their victory last night. Crawley drew today, completing the automatic promotion places on goal difference from Shrewsbury, who also drew. At the bottom, Hereford lost a 4th straight game. They're now 4 points adrift from safety. Macclesfield complete the relegation places after defeat. The Silkmen are 3 points adrift following a crucial win for Plymouth over their fellow strugglers Bradford. And to the Blue Square bet, Fleetwood enjoyed a comfortable win at bottom club Bath to move on to 98 points for the season. Wrexham drew. They're now 8 points adrift of the leaders. At the bottom, Bath's relegation is almost confirmed following another defeat. The Romans are 14 points from safety with only 5 games left to play. Kettering and Darlington both lost further ground after Hayes and Yeading and Newport both boosted their survival chances with crucial victories. And a quick look at the SPL. Rangers win over Motherwell means Celtic cannot now win their 43rd league title at home St Johnstone tomorrow. Celtic's advantage over their old firm rivals is 15 points, but Ali McCoy's side still have 18 left to play for. Celtic's title celebrations will have to wait another day. At the bottom, Dunfermline lost at Dundee United and remain 3 points adrift of Hibs. So, what a watch. Match of the day is going to be tonight. I recommend you stop whatever it is you were going to do otherwise. 10:20 on BBC One. Gary with a brace of Allens, Shearer and Hansen. And the Football League show will also be a pretty good watch too. Some interesting scorelines today at 20 to midnight, straight after Match of the Day with Manish. We've had a lovely afternoon so far, haven't we? But there's more to come from us on
I'm
the
going to go home and watch Match of the Day.
You're staying with me, you are. That's it from us for the moment. Join us on the red button if you can. Thank you for your company so far. If you can't, have a great weekend.